So for anybody that doesn't know what happened surrounding the YouTuber, the Iconoclast, he was very recently taken down from YouTube just a couple of days ago. If I'm not mistaken, it was on the 23rd or the 22nd. For anybody who doesn't know who the Iconoclast was, he was a political commentator. He spoke out against all of the typical leftist BS. He was not, in other words, he was not really too different to myself. You know, he talked about things in the news, he talked politics and all of that kind of stuff. His videos were much longer and much more in-depth than mine were, but overall we were pretty similar overall. He was one of them YouTube channels that spoke out against political correctness, was against censorship and all of that kind of stuff. With the fact that he was pretty pro-British, pro-European, all of that kind of stuff, not too different to myself, that would mean that much of the establishment would brand him as a Nazi, brand him as far right, and you've heard it all before. Now thankfully the Iconoclast has managed to set up a backup YouTube channel called Iconoclast 2. I will put a link to it in the description, so if you do wish to, you can go resubscribe to him. But ultimately, even though he has managed to set up a backup channel, he can start uploading again, start doing his videos again, it's still a despicable action from YouTube. And the reason it's ultimately a despicable action from YouTube nonetheless, even though he has got his channel back now, or he's uploaded a backup channel now, is the fact that the channel, he's had that channel for years, he's worked on videos on that channel for years, you know, probably spent hours editing and making the videos to upload them to YouTube, and now all of that work is potentially gone, unless he has the video files on a backup hard drive or on his computer somewhere or something like that. It's ultimately very unlikely that he'll get those videos back. But ultimately we need to understand that this is not the first time that this has happened to a right-wing YouTube channel, a channel that calls out political correctness, just calls out left-wing BS and all of that kind of stuff. So why exactly does the establishment prioritise trying to take down these kinds of channels, just like the Iconoclast? Short answer is because of the fact that they are a threat to them. When one of these channels, for example, makes a video calling out the BBC or some of the leftist trash that goes onto the BBC, when people watch that video, it could cause some of them viewers to think twice about paying for their TV license. Now, the BBC can't have that now because they want people to continuously pay their TV licenses every year. Because the BBC wants to regularly keep taking money from us and ultimately wants to keep spewing out their propaganda. Another example you could have, another one of these YouTubers could make an anti-Labour Party video, and viewers of that video, that anti-Labour video, would probably think twice before voting for the Labour Party in the next election, for example. And overall, that could harm the Labour Party in the next upcoming election in the UK. Okay, there are many other examples, many other ways that these kinds of videos like the ones that the Iconoclast did, are a threat to the establishment. That's why they always prioritise trying to take down these kinds of channels. But they don't always delete the channels, they always find other ways to try and take them down. They'll take away their ability to do streaming, they'll do other things like demonetization so they can't make money from their videos anymore. There are many other ways. They won't always just outright delete channels, make them vanish into nothing like they did with the Iconoclast's original channel. They'll always try and find various ways to try and make sure that these right-wing YouTubers, you know, patriotic YouTubers are deplatformed, you could say. They don't always just delete the channel out of nowhere and just censor them like that. Another aspect I wanted to explore with this is how the left generally view these kinds of censorships. Now, it's just one of the many hypocrisies of the left. I'm sure many other people have talked about it before. How they are apparently anti-establishment, the left is apparently anti-censorship and all of that kind of stuff. Yet ironically, when someone on the right, one of their opposition gets taken down, demonetized or deplatformed or something like that, kicked off Twitter or anything else, they suddenly come out celebrating. These are the same people that celebrate when milkshakes get thrown on the likes of Sargon. Do you really think they're going to care when they get kicked off of YouTube or anything like that? Believe me, they won't. They'll be celebrating. That overall is just one of the many hypocrisies of the left, and there are many others, and I could be here all day talking about them, but that is just one of them. If it was up to YouTube, the only kinds of people that would be allowed on their platform would be people that upload pet videos, dog videos, and all of that kind of stuff, probably toy review channels, and probably news channels like the Young Turks. That would be all that would be allowed on YouTube if they had their own way. But the reason they haven't taken down all of the right-wingers yet on YouTube is because of the fact that they can't just take them all down at once. They could do if they wanted to, with a click of a button, but if they did that, it would just stir up so much outrage they would never hear the end of it. So they just do them maybe one at a time, maybe one every couple of months or something like that, like they have done with the Iconoclast here. Now, there are also a number of other channels, YouTubers that will call out political correctness and censorship and all of that kind of stuff. Those channels are under threat, the same kinds of threats as well. So examples like Paul Joseph Watson, Sargon of Akkad, Count Dankula, many others. Channels that could get taken down with a click of a finger because of the fact that they're not politically correct. Because of the fact that they're not NPCs. To put it bluntly, if you're right-wing or you're not politically correct on YouTube, it's always going to be an uphill battle. That's simply how it is these days. But ultimately, surrounding everything with the Iconoclast, hopefully he can start uploading videos again with the fact that he's got a new channel up now. Hopefully he can build up all of his subscribers again, and hopefully things can get back to normal for him. We will just have to see. Hopefully they don't take down this channel as well. But overall, people, be sure to let us know what you think about this down below. What are your opinions on the ever-increasing rampant censorship on the likes of YouTube and Twitter and Facebook? What are your opinions on it becoming more and more frequent over the last couple of years? Be sure to let us know what you think about this down below. Okay, people, this has been Lord Flashheart. Be sure to rate, comment, favourite, share and subscribe, and I will see you again. Cheerio!